90% of people who say, "I'm going to learn to code this year," will quit within 60 days. Not because coding is impossibly hard, not because they're not smart enough, but because they followed the wrong roadmap. Or worse, they followed no roadmap at all. I've spent the last several years teaching thousands of people how to code, from absolute zero to landing six-figure developer jobs. And in that time, I've watched the industry change more in the last 18 months than it did in the previous decade. AI tools, new frameworks every week, mass layoffs at big tech followed by a massive hiring rebound. It's chaos. And if you're watching this in 2026 wondering, is it still worth learning to code? The answer is absolutely yes. But the path looks completely different than it did even 2 years ago. So today, I'm going to give you the exact roadmap I would follow if I had to start over from scratch in 2026 with zero coding experience and I needed to get hired as fast as humanly possible. We're talking about a complete step-by-step plan. What to learn, in what order, what to skip, what tools to use, and the exact projects that will make hiring managers stop scrolling and actually look at your resume. This isn't some fluffy motivation video. This is the blueprint. So grab a notebook, bookmark this video, and let's build your future. Let's go. Before I hand you the roadmap, let's talk about what's actually happening in the tech job market right now, because understanding this will determine every decision you make on this journey. The narrative you've been hearing is that AI is replacing developers. Let me debunk that right now. What's actually happening is that AI is replacing developers who refuse to use AI. There's a massive difference. Companies aren't hiring fewer developers, they're hiring different kinds of developers. Developers who can move faster, build more, and leverage AI as a multiplier. Here's what the 2026 market actually looks like. Full-stack developers are still the most in-demand role globally. The median salary for a mid-level full-stack developer is now higher than it's ever been. But here's the twist. The bar for entry-level has gone up. 5 years ago, you could get hired knowing HTML, CSS, and a little JavaScript. Today, companies expect you to be comfortable with frameworks, understand databases, have at least basic DevOps knowledge, and, this is the big one, know how to integrate AI into real applications. Sounds overwhelming? It's not, because here's what nobody tells you. The same AI tools that raised the bar are also the tools that will help you learn 5 times faster. You just need to know how to use them correctly, and that's exactly what this roadmap is designed to teach you. Now, there are 3 career paths that are absolutely booming right now, and our roadmap is going to touch all 3. Number 1, full-stack web development, still the widest hiring funnel and the fastest path to your first job. Number 2, AI engineering. This is the gold rush of 2026, and I'll show you how to position yourself even as a beginner. Number 3, specialized front-end and UX engineering, because as AI handles more back-end logic, beautiful, intuitive user experiences matter more than ever. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear plan that touches all 3 of these paths, so you can decide which one fits you best. All right, let's get into Phase 1. Phase 1 is all about building your foundation, and I'm going to be very specific about what that means, because this is where most beginners either build unstoppable momentum or get permanently stuck in tutorial hell.
Week 1 to 2, HTML, CSS, and how the web works. Week 1 to 2.
The first 2 weeks are HTML and CSS. And before you roll your eyes and say, "That's so basic," yes, it is, and that's exactly why you need to nail it. HTML and CSS are the skeleton and skin of every single thing you see on the internet. Every web app, every website, every dashboard, all of it starts here. But here's my controversial take. Do not spend a month on this. 2 weeks is enough. I see so many beginners spending 8 weeks perfecting their CSS animations before they've written a single line of JavaScript. That's like spending 3 months learning to hold a paintbrush before you've ever put paint on a canvas. Here's your Week 1 checklist. Learn HTML structure, elements, attributes, forms, semantic tags. Then, CSS fundamentals, the box model, flexbox, grid, responsive design with media queries. By the end of Week 1, you should be able to build a responsive personal landing page from scratch without copying anyone else's code. That's your first micro project. Week 2, you level up. Learn CSS variables, transitions, and basic animations. Build a multi-page portfolio website. This is the skeleton that you're going to upgrade throughout this entire journey. Every new skill you learn from this point forward gets added to this portfolio.
Week 3 to 4, JavaScript Fundamentals.
Weeks 3 and 4 are where the real magic starts. JavaScript. This is the language of the web, and in 2026, it's also one of the most versatile programming languages on the planet. You can build websites, mobile apps, desktop apps, servers, AI integrations, all with JavaScript. Now, I'm not going to give you some watered-down, learn variables and loops advice. Here's the specific order I'd follow. First, master the absolute basics: variables, data types, operators, conditionals, loops, functions. This should take you about 4 to 5 days of focused study, maybe 2 to 3 hours per day. Then, and this is critical, immediately jump into DOM manipulation. The DOM, Document Object Model, is how JavaScript talks to your HTML page. This is where coding goes from "I'm writing abstract logic" to "oh my god, I just made that button actually do something." That feeling is addictive, and it's what will keep you going when things get hard. By the end of week 4, build 2 mini projects. Project 1, a to-do list app with local storage, so your tasks actually save when you close the browser. Project 2, a weather app that pulls real data from a free API. These 2 projects alone teach you 80% of what you need to know about JavaScript fundamentals and how web apps actually work. Quick tip here. When you hit a wall, and you will hit a wall, probably around week 3, don't go back to watching more tutorials. Instead, open up an AI assistant, describe what you're trying to build, and ask it to explain the concept. Then, try to implement it yourself. The AI is your tutor, not your replacement. Use it to understand, not to copy-paste. Phase 2 is where you go from person who can code a little to front-end developer. And the tool that makes this transformation happen is React.
Week 5 to 7, React.js, the industry standard.
I know there are a lot of JavaScript frameworks out there: Vue, Angular, Svelte, Solid, and a new one that probably launched while I was recording this video. But in 2026, React is still the undisputed king of front-end frameworks when it comes to job listings. It's not even close. About 65% of front-end job postings mention React specifically, so if your goal is to get hired, React is the answer. Here's how I'd learn it in 3 weeks. Week 5, components, JSX, props, state, and event handling. Build a simple interactive UI, maybe a quiz app or a habit tracker. The key here is understanding that React thinks in components. Everything is a reusable building block. Week 6, React hooks, specifically useState, useEffect, useContext, and useRef. These 4 hooks cover about 95% of what you'll need in real-world applications. Don't get lost in the other 47 hooks that exist. Focus on these 4 until you can use them in your sleep. Week 7, React Router for multi-page navigation, and your first big React project. I'd build a movie database app that fetches data from a free API like TMDB, lets users search, filter, and save favorites. This project alone demonstrates component architecture, API integration, state management, and routing, which are the 4 things interviewers care about most.
Week 8 to 9, Styling like a professional.
Now let's talk about styling, because this is where most self-taught developers fall short, and it's painfully obvious. I see portfolios with incredible functionality, but the UI looks like it was designed in 2009. In 2026, your apps need to look modern and polished. Learn Tailwind CSS, period. I know some people love it, some people hate it, but here's the reality. Tailwind is in more job postings than ever. It makes you insanely fast at building UIs, and it forces you to think about responsive design from the start. Combine Tailwind with a component library like shadcn.ui for pre-built, customizable components that look professional out of the box. Your project for weeks 8 and 9, rebuild your portfolio website from phase 1 using React and Tailwind. It should have animated page transitions, a dark mode toggle, responsive design that looks perfect on mobile, and smooth scroll animations. This portfolio is going to be the front door to your career, so make it beautiful.
Week 10, TypeScript, the non-negotiable.
Week 10 is TypeScript. And I know what you're thinking. Do I really need TypeScript as a beginner? The answer in 2026 is an absolute yes. TypeScript has gone from nice to have to required in the majority of professional code bases. It's JavaScript with a safety net. It catches errors before your code even runs. You don't need to become a TypeScript wizard. Spend 1 week learning the basics. Type annotations, interfaces, generics, and how to convert a React project from JavaScript to TypeScript. Then refactor your movie database project to TypeScript. That single exercise will teach you more about TypeScript than any course ever could. All right, Phase 3. This is where you cross the line from front-end developer to full-stack developer, and where your market value roughly doubles. I'm not exaggerating. Full-stack developers consistently earn 20 to 40% more than front-end developers only because they can own an entire product from top to bottom.
Week 11 and 12, Node.js and Express.
We're going to use Node.js for the backend, and specifically the Express framework. Why? Because you already know JavaScript. Learning a new language like Python or Go at this stage would slow you down by months. Node.js lets you use the same language on the front end and the back end, which means less context switching and faster development. Week 11, learn the fundamentals of Node.js, the runtime, modules, file system, and how servers work. Then build your first REST API with Express. Start simple, a CRUD API for a to-do list. Create, read, update, delete. These 4 operations are the backbone of literally every application on the internet. Week 12, add authentication. Learn how JWT tokens work, implement user registration and login, password hashing with bcrypt, and protected routes. Authentication is the single most common "show me you can do this" feature that hiring managers look for. Now you need somewhere to store all this data. And here's where I'm going to give you advice that might be controversial. Learn both SQL and MongoDB, not because you need to master both, but because understanding both relational and non-relational databases makes you dramatically more versatile.
Weeks 13 to 14, Databases, SQL and MongoDB.
Week 13, PostgreSQL and Basic SQL. Learn tables, relationships, queries, joins, and indexes. Use an ORM like Prisma to interact with your database from Node.js. Prisma is by far the most developer-friendly ORM in 2026, and it's showing up everywhere in job listings. Week 14, MongoDB for document-based storage. It's perfect for flexible data like user profiles, blog posts, or product catalogs. Learn Mongoose for schema validation and build a small blog API with MongoDB as the backend. Now here's the key insight. For your portfolio, I want you to have at least 1 project using SQL and 1 using MongoDB. This immediately signals to employers that you're not a one-trick pony.
Weeks 15 to 16, Full Stack Integration Project.
Weeks 15 and 16 are where everything comes together. You're going to build a complete, full-stack application from scratch. And I'm going to recommend a project that is designed to impress, a real-time collaborative task management app. Think of it as a simplified version of Trello or Notion. Front-end, React with TypeScript and Tailwind. Back-end, Node.js with Express. Database, PostgreSQL with Prisma. Features, user authentication, team workspaces, drag-and-drop task boards, real-time updates using WebSockets, and a clean, professional UI. This single project demonstrates everything a hiring manager wants to see: architecture full stack, authentication, real-time communication, database design, and clean code. You deploy it live and it becomes the centerpiece of your portfolio. Phase 4 is the game changer. This is the section that separates a 2024 developer from a 2026 developer. And this is where Brainy Juice learners have a massive advantage because we've been building AI-focused curriculum since before most boot camps even acknowledged that AI existed. In 2026, being a developer who also knows some AI is like being a developer in 2010 who also knew mobile development. It's not a nice bonus, it's the thing that gets you hired over the other 50 applicants who all know React and Node.
Weeks 17 to 18, AI Integration and API Mastery.
You do not need a PhD in machine learning. You do not need to understand transformer architectures from scratch. What you need is the ability to integrate AI into real applications, and that starts with understanding APIs. Week 17. Learn how to work with large language model APIs, OpenAI's, Anthropic's Claude, and Google's Gemini. Build a simple AI chatbot that runs inside a web application. Then build something more useful. An AI-powered content summarizer that takes a URL, scrapes the content, and gives you a clean summary. This is a project you'll actually use yourself, which makes it infinitely more compelling in an interview. Week 18. Build an AI feature into your existing full-stack project from Phase 3. Add an AI-powered Smart Task Description Generator to your project management app. When a user creates a new task, they can click a button and the AI generates a detailed description, acceptance criteria, and time estimate based on the task title. This is the kind of feature that makes a hiring manager's eyes light up.
Weeks 19 to 20, Prompt Engineering and AI Tooling.
Week 19 is about prompt engineering. And no, this isn't about crafting the perfect chat message. Prompt engineering for developers means understanding how to structure system prompts, chain multi-step AI workflows, handle token limits, implement streaming responses, and build reliable AI features that don't hallucinate or break in production. This is a real, in-demand skill set. Companies are literally creating prompt engineer and AI integration specialist roles with salaries that match or exceed traditional software engineering roles. And the beautiful thing is, you already have all the coding skills you need. You just need to understand the AI side.
Weeks 20, RAG and Vector Databases.
Week 20 is the cherry on top, Retrieval Augmented Generation, or RAG. This is the technology behind every AI chatbot that can answer questions about your specific data, like a customer support bot that knows your product catalog, or an internal tool that can search through company documents. Learn the basics of embeddings in vector databases like Pinecone or Weaviate, then build a chat with your documents application. Users upload a PDF, your app processes it, stores it as embeddings, and then they can ask questions about the document in natural language. This is one of the most in-demand AI features in enterprise software right now, and you'll have it in your portfolio. All right, you now have the skills, but skills alone don't get you hired. Your portfolio does, and most developer portfolios are terrible. I'm saying this with love because I review hundreds of portfolios and the same mistakes keep coming up.
The 3 portfolio sins.
Sin number 1. Too many tiny projects. A portfolio with 15 to-do apps, weather apps, and calculator apps tells me you can follow tutorials. That's it. It doesn't tell me you can build real software. Sin number 2. No live demos. If I have to clone your repo and run npm install just to see what your project does, I'm already moving on to the next candidate. Every single project needs a live deployed link. Sin number 3. No context. Your project should tell a story. Why did you build this? What problem does it solve? What technical decisions did you make and why? A README that says to-do app built with React is useless. A README that says real-time task management platform with AI-powered task generation, WebSocket collaboration, and Postgres storage built to demonstrate full-stack architecture and AI integration, that gets interviews. The perfect portfolio structure. Here's what your portfolio should look like when you're done with this roadmap. You should have 3 to 4 killer projects. Project 1, your full-stack task management app with AI features from phases 3 and 4. This is your flagship. Project 2, your AI document chat application from week 20. This shows cutting-edge AI engineering skills. Project 3, your React movie database or a SaaS tile dashboard that demonstrates clean UI and data visualization. Project 4, optional but powerful, an open-source contribution or a developer tool you've built and published on NPM. Every project should be deployed live, use Vercel for Frontend, Railway or Render for Backend, and every project needs a detailed README with screenshots, a tech stack breakdown, and a lessons learned section. Your portfolio website itself should be a React app deployed on a custom domain. It should have your projects showcased with live demos, an About section with your story, a contact form, and a blog section where you write about what you're learning. Even 2 or 3 blog posts about technical topics show employers that you can communicate, which is the #1 soft skill they're looking for. Phase 6 is where most self-taught developers completely fall apart, and it has nothing to do with their coding skills. The job hunt is a skill in itself, and nobody teaches it.
Your LinkedIn is your resume.
First things first, your LinkedIn profile. In 2026, this is your resume. Most hiring managers and recruiters will look at your LinkedIn before they ever open your actual resume. Your headline should not say aspiring developer or coding bootcamp student. It should say something like full stack developer, React, Node.js, AI integration, building at Brainy Juice. You're a developer, not an aspiring one. You build things. Own it. Your About section should be a concise story, 3 to 4 sentences about who you are, what you build, and what you're looking for. Feature your top 2 projects with links to the live demos, and start posting. Even 1 post a week about something technical you learned gets you visibility.
The outreach strategy.
Now, the application strategy. I'm going to give you some real numbers. The average developer applies to 100 to 200 jobs before getting an offer. If you use the strategy I'm about to share, you can cut that in half. Step 1. Never just click Easy Apply on LinkedIn and move on. That application goes into a pile of 500 other applications and nobody will ever see it. Step 2. For every job you care about, find the hiring manager or a developer on the team on LinkedIn. Send them a personalized message, not a generic, "Hi, I'm looking for opportunities." Instead, reference something specific about the company, mention a relevant project you've built, and ask if they'd be open to a brief chat. This approach alone has a response rate 5 to 10 times higher than cold applications. Step 3. Build in public. Tweet or post about your projects, your learning journey, your struggles. Tag companies you want to work at. The tech community is shockingly small and responsive. I've seen people get hired simply because a recruiter saw their project go viral on social media.
And the interview prep playbook.
For technical interviews, here's your prep checklist. Number 1. Know your projects inside and out. Be able to explain every architecture decision, every trade-off, and every bug you encountered. Number 2, practice data structures and algorithms, not obsessively, but enough to handle a LeetCode medium. Spend 30 minutes a day on problems. Number 3, practice system design basics. Know how to design a URL shortener, a chat application, and a social media feed. Number 4, prepare for behavioral questions using the STAR method: situation, task, action, result. Have 5 stories ready that demonstrate problem solving, teamwork, and resilience. And here's a secret weapon. Prepare a 5-minute demo of your best project. When the interviewer asks you, "Tell me about a project you're proud of," don't just talk about it. Share your screen and show them. Walk them through the code. Show the live app. This is devastatingly effective, and almost nobody does it. Now I want to get real with you for a minute, because this roadmap looks clean and organized on paper, but the actual journey is messy, and I want to share the mistakes that cost me the most time so you don't repeat them. Mistake number 1. Tutorial hell. I spent 6 months watching tutorials without building anything original. I felt like I was learning, but I was just consuming content. The moment I tried to build something from scratch, I froze. The lesson: watch a tutorial, then immediately build something similar but different. Never just follow along and call it learning. Mistake number 2. Learning too many languages at once. I tried to learn JavaScript, Python, and Java simultaneously because I thought it would make me more marketable. All it did was make me mediocre at 3 things instead of great at 1. Pick one language, master it, then expand. For web development, that language is JavaScript. Mistake number 3. Comparing my day 1 to someone's year 5. Social media makes it look like everyone is building amazing projects and getting hired at Google within 3 months. That's survivorship bias. For every success story you see, there are thousands of people on the same quiet, unglamorous journey you're on. Stay in your own lane. Mistake number 4. not asking for help. I wasted weeks stuck on problems that someone could have helped me solve in 10 minutes. Join communities, ask questions, find a study group. The Brainy Juice community, for instance, has thousands of learners at every stage helping each other. You don't have to do this alone. Mistake number 5, treating coding like a sprint instead of a marathon. I burned out twice in my first year because I was doing 12-hour coding sessions trying to catch up. Sustainable progress beats burnout every time. 2 to 3 hours of focused daily practice will get you further than occasional 10-hour binges. Let's put this all together into a clean, simple timeline you can pin on your wall. Month 1. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript fundamentals. Build 2 to 3 mini projects. Get comfortable with your code editor, the terminal, and Git. Month 2, React.js deep dive. Learn hooks, routing, and state management. Build your movie database project and start your portfolio website. Month 3, TypeScript, Tailwind CSS, and advanced front-end patterns. Polish your portfolio to professional standards. Start learning backend fundamentals with Node.js. Month 4, Backend Mastery. Express, databases, authentication. Build your full-stack task management app. Deploy it live. Month 5, AI integration. Learn to use LLM APIs. Build AI-powered features into your projects and create your RAG document chat application. This month is your competitive edge. Month 6, portfolio polish, interview prep, and active job hunting. Write readmes, deploy everything, optimize your LinkedIn, and start your outreach campaign.
That's it. 6 months, 24 weeks. And at the end of it, you'll have a portfolio that puts you in the top 10% of junior developer applicants. Not because you're a genius, but because you followed a proven structured path instead of randomly jumping between YouTube tutorials. Before you click away, I have a challenge for you, and I'm serious about this. In the next 24 hours, I want you to do one thing, just one. Open your code editor, create a new folder called My Coding Journey, and write your first HTML file. Just a simple page with your name, a heading that says My Coding Journey starts today, and today's date. Save it. Open it in your browser. Look at it. You just made something out of nothing. That's what developers do. Then take a screenshot and share it. Post it on social media, tag Brainy Juice, and use the hashtag CodingJourney2026. I personally look at every single one of these, and the best ones get featured in our community spotlight. The gap between who you are today and who you want to be 6 months from now is not talent. It's not intelligence. It's not a computer science degree. It's the decision to start and the discipline to keep going. And you've already taken the first step by watching this video all the way through. If this video helped you, smash the like button, subscribe if you're not already, hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next video in this series where I'm going to walk you through building your first React project from start to finish, step by step. I believe in you. Now, go write some code.